Hi, Samantha here, Very Nice Vegan. I'm going to have a quick chat with you today about weight loss and being on a vegan diet. A lot of people ask me, is the weight that I have lost, and I have lost quite a considerable amount actually, due to my vegan diet or not? Well, that's a good question. I guess it affects everybody's body in different ways. I have lost about, I think about 1.5 stones in about 2 years. And I'm actually losing a lot more recently now that I'm switching my diet more to a raw vegan rather than just a vegan lifestyle. So for those of you who don't know, raw vegan obviously is kind of just like it sounds, that you're not cooking anything, and the science behind those thoughts are really due to the fact that when you cook things, you're raising them to a certain temperature, and that's killing off and breaking down all the good stuff basically that's in it. So your vitamins, your minerals, all watered down. If you're boiling to death vegetables, for example, and I don't mean death because they're alive, no, I just mean you're boiling them to death because you're overcooking them, and a lot of people do. And even if you're soft cooking stuff, you know, kind of like al dente stuff, if it's kind of part cooked and it's not really sloppy, you're still, because of the temperature, you're breaking down all the cells and the fibers and everything else that's within those fruit and veg, and you're destroying a lot of the nutrients that you could actually be using in your body to make you healthier. So it's not always about losing weight, sometimes it's just about being healthy, and by moving yourself to a vegan diet, you've already taken a massive step towards health. And if you're kind of in that transition at the moment between kind of thinking, you know, can I completely be vegan? Can I stop everything that I eat to be vegan? Don't think about all of that. Don't try and overcomplicate it. Literally start at the beginning. And for me, the beginning would be swapping out your dairy. The dairy is it's not the biggest problem, because obviously the meat is a problem as well, but dairy has lots of things part of it that you do not want in your body. If you want to eat clean, as they say, you know, look it up, if you're eating clean, you're eating things that can only really benefit your body, that in absolutely no way can harm your body. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to just stick to a bowl of salad each evening, for example, which is what a lot of people think. There are so many sauces and recipes and kind of full meals that I make that are raw, okay, that then they're not cooked. I think the word raw is kind of quite frightening, because a lot of people, when you say raw, they associate that with meat and things. So raw meat, raw fish, you know, stuff like that. It obviously isn't, because it's part of a vegan diet. You're talking about raw foods as they're pretty much coming out of the ground once they've been washed and cleaned, obviously. Very important, particularly if you're not buying organic. And that's something else I go into with my raw recipe videos, about how you can clean things before you eat them. Because if you're eating them raw, particularly, obviously you're not cooking them, so there could be potentially more bacteria on there. So you need to make sure that you clean things, you know, reasonably well. At least give it a really good wash under the tap. But I do actually have a very small recipe, which I'll put on one of the blogs, about the particular mix of things you can put together. I'm not going to go into it now, but a mix of stuff you can put together to wash down all your fruit and veg before you use it when you're raw vegan. It's actually not such a bad idea to do that, even if you're not raw vegan, to be honest, because everyone assumes that you go and pick stuff up in the supermarket and it's all perfectly clean. It's been washed, of course it has. It doesn't have bacteria on it. Rubbish. It is still quite mucky, and lots of people have been handling it. It's been tipped from crate to crate. You know, you can imagine actually the stuff that could be on it. So the best bit is to kind of clean everything you use anyway, if you can. Okay, but definitely if you're on a raw diet, I would suggest that, because if you're putting things down your juicer and whatever, you know, things like celery stalks, there's quite a lot of grains of bacteria and soil and stuff that are inside the celery roots. As you pull off all this bit, it's a bit like lettuce and cabbage and stuff. Particularly celery though, as you pull it off, you'll find there's sort of bits of grains and things in the bottom, and yes, you can rinse it off, but just be aware of it. You can sort of chop the last inch or so off your food, I suppose, before you do that as well, because that will get rid of most of the mucky stuff. But have a look anyway at the other videos. There's more and more coming. We're trying to get them out as fast as we can, but it does take time, so bear with us. And we're trying to get at least 3 or 4 out a week at the moment. We're pretty much keeping up with that, but I've got so much stuff that we're trying to put together for you, and it does take time, so please bear with us. And if there's something in the meantime you think it would be really great to have a video on that, then please put it in the comments below and let us know. Please, while you're here, also click the subscribe button so that you know when our new videos are coming up, and the notification bell as well, okay? So if you're going with your vegan food and you're trying to lose weight as well, then absolutely, the vegan diet could not be better for you. Now, it's not, as I say, all about weight, it's about health. But with health, generally becomes, you know, you get your weight loss off too. And as I say, I've lost a significant amount. In the last, let me think, probably 2.5 weeks, I've lost almost half a stone in the way that I have been eating. Now I'm transitioning from vegan diet into raw diet because for me that's the right thing to do. Now for you guys it might not be, and at the moment if you're just starting in a vegan diet you might think, oh my god, I'm going vegan and now they want me to eat it all raw. Well, you don't have to. So you know, don't panic. It's to each their own, as they say, and you know it's entirely up to you how you handle your vegan diet. But for me, I think the way that I'm eating now, I can see the changes in my body. I can see that I have more energy. I can see that I'm able to stand up and make a video for you guys, whereas before I just probably sat down on the sofa and caught up on Facebook. But you know, you're just inspired to do more because your body, your brain, everything seems to be working a little bit better. I feel a little bit more alive, if you like. So for me, it's a good thing. It's working. And if you want to know more about that, we can do other things on that as well. But put it in the comments box below so that we know what you want, because I want to make things that will help you. And if you don't tell me what helps you, then I can't help you. Okay, so absolutely, yes. So if you're starting off and you want to start losing weight, absolutely cut out your dairy. Okay, so just immediately stop doing your dairy. Swap out your milks. That's your very first step. Okay, even if you think, oh, I can't give up cheese, which I hear all the time. If you can't give up cheese, you can, by the way, and we'll show you how. But for now, let's just focus on one thing at a time. So if you want, your very first thing to do is swap out your milk. Okay, so if you have milk and things in tea, try to swap to some herbal teas if you can. So your green teas, your peppermint teas, you know, anything else you like. I have a really nice range of the pucker teas. I quite enjoy those. There's a particular one, a white tea bag or white box cover on there that's called Cleanse. I really like that one. It's got a mix of all sorts of really lovely stuff in. I particularly like that at night as well, but I quite often mix that with like a peppermint tea or a green tea or something like that. If you can't handle caffeine, I'm not a caffeine person, I've never been able to cope with caffeine, then I have a load of decaf stuff. And again, to be honest, if you're going into a vegan diet and you want to be cleaner, then you need to cut out that crap anyway, quite frankly, because it is crap. It doesn't do you any good. And if you can't cope with decaf teas, or you don't like the idea of decaf coffee, you know, have some of the super smoothies. We sell the mixes as well. They're actually coming into our vegan shop soon. Have a look on our Facebook page. It's just called Very Nice Vegan, and you'll see that we've got a few bits and bobs for sale there as well, including Fitbit. If you haven't come across Fitbit, just a very quick plug for them. They are fantastic vegan company. No palm oil. They're in glass jars, no plastics, and you can even send the glass jars back to get money off your next pot, which I just think is brilliant. You know, it's just recycling and veganing and everything all in. They're fabulous, and they're little pots of deodorant. If you haven't tried them before, they're quite often found at the vegan festivals, kind of like freebies and things, and that's how I found out about them originally. And I tried it, and they are magnificent deodorants. So if you get a chance, go and pop onto our page and have a look there. They're coming into stock in the next couple of days. We've already got orders for some. But yeah, if you're wanting to go down a kind of decaf road but without being decaf-y, then I would try and swap to juices and smoothies and things, because the rest, I think it will come. It all sounds too much to start with, and I think that's how a lot of people get put off, and they start on the vegan thing thinking, I want to be healthy, I want to lose weight, I want to be good for the planet, I want to save the animals, I want to ensure, you know, everything for my kids in the future. You know, that's a lot of pressure on a new vegan. Okay, there's a lot of pressure on anybody. So first of all, no matter what reason you're doing it for, whether you're doing it for health, for the animals, the planet, anything, just to take small steps, baby steps, okay? Because you will get there, but it's a journey that you can't, and that is the word actually, it is a journey that you are on. You're not just thinking, right, I'm going to do that now and tomorrow I'm going to be this. It's not going to work like that. It can't, because everything you ever learnt about food, everything you have ever learnt about cooking, it's all going to change. It has to, because of the things that you're now using and the way that your brain will start kicking into gear in a different way. Trust me, it's really hard to explain. I can only say it's like a mindset change. Okay, everything in your life will change, but for the better, and it's going to be fantastic. Okay, so don't panic about trying to change it all too quick and do everything at once. Okay, so first of all, your milk. So swap out your milk. If you're used to dairy milk, whether it's full fat, semi, whatever, if you're used to cream, that could be slightly more tricky, but God's sake, if you're having cream in things, heart attack waiting to happen. But anyway, so if you want to swap out your milks, go for an oat, I would. An oat milk is a middle of the range kind of alternative milk, if you like. So take out the milk from your tea, your dairy milk, and replace it with oat milk. Okay, try that first of all. First of all, try not to, and I see vegans do this everywhere, try not to compare things all the time. Of course it isn't going to taste like dairy. It's come from a cow. It's meant for a baby cow. It is not going to taste like that. It's going to taste, however, healthier. It's still going to taste creamy in actual fact, and there are some wicked oat milks and things like that. Oatly is one of the ones that my boys absolutely loves. It's really thick and creamy. They use it in a lot of coffee shops. Because it's brilliant for baristas for foaming up and everything, and it is really creamy. So try that, okay? So Oatly milk, or just like an Alpro oat milk, or there's lots of others out there. So go and do your research, and don't get put off by the first one you have, because I remember when I first started, and I started swapping over with soya. I don't know why now, and I come to think about it, but I think at the time that was kind of everywhere, you know, soya milk and stuff. So and it still is in a lot of coffee shops and things. It shouldn't be, in my opinion, but there we go. But I tried with soy milk, and I absolutely hated it, but I knew that I couldn't do dairy anymore. I didn't want to do that, so I persisted with it, and I tried, I think, everyone on the market. There must be like 20, 30, whatever different types of alternative milk. So, you know, don't get put off if you try the first one and think, oh, there's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to stick with that and go back to dairy. Don't, for goodness sake. This is your health you are talking about, okay? So try a different one. If that one doesn't work, try another one. You know, there's lots. So there's oat, there's coconut, there's almond milk, there is soya, and there's just loads. There's even mixtures of, you know, combinations of different ones of those in the shops as well. So go and have a look. There's also kind of tons of different brands too of each one. So don't just try one on one brand, try another brand of the same one, because some of them are very sweet, some of them aren't, some are very thick, some are very thin. It depends what you want it for. If you're putting it in your tea, it's going to be a different requirement to maybe having it in your coffee. And again, if you're having it on your cereal or something like that, or you're making your porridge with it in the morning. So try a different variety, try different brands, and just try that one step, and try that for a few weeks, and you will feel so much better, trust me. And we are coming into winter here now in the UK. You know, it's October, it's starting to get a bit nippy. You're thinking, oh, do I put the heating on? I really don't want to, because that says goodbye to summer. But sadly we're getting to that point at the moment, and stood here now, I'm a little bit cold, but I'm just not going to put the heating on yet. But because we're coming into that time of year, and everybody is going to be having their snivels and feeling a bit under the weather, and you know, dairy is one of the worst things you can have, okay, for that type of thing, particularly if you've got like chesty stuff and mucus and things. Dairy, oh, honestly, look it up. It is not good to have in your system. And if you're honest and you want to be healthy from now, not in 6 months, 6 years or whatever, you've got to start making the change now, okay? So you have to ask yourself this question when you go to buy stuff, you know, and you think, oh, I'll just have one more bottle of milk. At what point are you going to decide to be healthy? It's really that simple. Do you want to be healthy and start being healthy now, or are you going to think, no, I'll do it next week, and then of course it'll be next week, and then it'll be next week, and it's a bit like dieting, really, isn't it? You just think, oh, well, I'll wait till I'm in the right place to do it. You're in the right place now, okay? You need willpower, that is all, and you need to know you're doing a good thing, which you will be by swapping out that dairy, okay? So go and start that way. And by doing that, you're automatically cutting down your fats, okay? There's a hell of a lot of fat and stuff in milk that you do not, I mean, that's probably the nicest thing actually in milk, that you do not want in your body. And if you're serious about losing weight on a vegan diet, then you need to cut that crap out, as I have said to you before, okay? And then once you have done that, and you're feeling more confident in that, and you found one that you like, some people absolutely love the coconut, you know, other people really love the soya. Just find what you like and stick with it for now, so that you've done that one thing, okay? Because once you've done one thing, and that empowers you to go on and do another thing, okay? So take it slowly, but do it. Don't cop out. Don't use it as an excuse that you've had a row with your husband, that you've had a really bad day at work, that you just, you know, time of the month, I really don't think I could do it. Oh, for God's sake, do it now, okay? And once you've done that, then we'll move on to cheeses and yogurts and other bits and bobs as well. And if you look at some of my recipes, you'll see that you can swap out the stuff you're having, which you think might taste all right at the moment. When I show you some of the recipes we've got on there and the colours and things that are coming out, you're going to think, God, I wish I'd done this absolutely years ago, okay? So don't put it off. Start now. And yes, if you want to be healthy, you will be healthier on a vegan diet. You will lose weight on a vegan diet, because you're not putting a lot of crap into you that you don't need, that isn't even actually designed for your body. It's designed for a cow. Okay, so moving on from that, The different ways that I have kind of lost weight is obviously I've swapped out my foods for vegan foods. My milks, my cheeses, or yogurts, everything that is required with that vegan lifestyle I have swapped out. And now that I'm going into the raw side of things, I'm seeing dramatic changes in my body. And that is the only word that I can say, dramatic, okay? But I think it would be a bit dangerous to try and go from a meat eating diet that you guys might be on already to automatically just going straight for a raw diet. I feel that may be too big a change for you. Plus the fact, you know what, you need to give your body, your system, time to change. I remember there were quite a few changes in our bodies, and the least of one was pretty bad gas, actually, to start with, I have to say. I know no one wants to talk about it, but it's real. You know, your stomach is going to change because your gut is used to handling meat. It's used to handling, you know, I don't know, sugary chocolates that have got milk in and sugar in and crap in and, you know, all of this stuff, dairies, yogurts, you know, all of that stuff your system is used to digesting because that's all it's ever had. It's not designed for that, okay? So the change, yes, it is going to take a while to go through, but it's going to be a good thing, and your body is going to thank you, and your kids are going to thank you for being healthier, okay? So yes, you're going to get a bit bloated when you start changing to a vegan diet. Yes, you're probably going to be farting left, right, and centre, but who cares, all right? It's just a few weeks. Just open the windows or go outside. I mean, if you think it might be bad in your household, I have got 4 boys and my husband, so I have 5 men farting in the house for quite a long time before our stomachs settle down. But it is okay. It's a transition. It's your body, your gut changing over what it needs to do in order to break down the things that are coming into your body, okay? And long term, that's going to be great. It's going to clear out all the sludge, all the crap that's been stuck in there since day one when you were having all these things that you never should have had in your body in the first place. Obviously, that's down to all sorts of reasons, and I'm not putting blame out there for anybody, for parents, for anything, but that's just how it was, how it is. But it's changing now, okay? So you just have to give your body time to change, and it will, and you will thank it, and it will thank you, because you will be fitter, you will be healthier, you will be slimmer, okay? So, and I'm still kind of working my way down. I've had 4 children, you know, I've had a stomach that always makes me look like I'm blinking pregnant most of the time, but it's going down. Look, see, it's not that bad, is it? It's not that bad. And it was like out here, well, maybe not out there, but it was pretty bad. And I'm size 12 at the moment, but I am going down small, and it's not because I want to be small, it's because I want to be healthy, but with that is coming the benefit of the fat falling off, okay? If you're seeing different tone in your body. Now, obviously it's important still to exercise, even if it's only a small amount, and if you're quite heavy, you might not be able to do that to start with, so don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. Walk a bit further to the supermarket, park at the other end of the car park, you know, just simple things like that to start with, but don't panic about it. Most of it is your diet, okay? So get some of the weight off, and as some of the weight then comes off, you're going to feel more like doing exercise, and you'll be able to without it either hurting or being uncomfortable, or you're just feeling a bit embarrassed to go do it, because I know I used to be like that as well. So I think the first lesson is ditch the dairy. Get rid of the dairy, start with your milk and slowly go down from there. And then secondly, look forward to how healthy your body is going to be, because it is going to be fab, I promise. Okay, stick with me, watch the other videos. If you've got questions, put it in the comments below and I will always come back to you, I absolutely promise. And don't forget, you can always catch us on Instagram, on our Facebook page, Very Nice Vegan, where you can buy a few bits and bobs as well to help you along the way. And if, again, any questions on there, just post them. We are very friendly, we're very open to talking, so please just let us know. All right, have a great day, have a vegan day, and ditch that dairy.